Most karate styles teach you to stand your ground. Ashihara teaches you to disappear. In Kyokushin, the stronger fighter usually wins. In Ashihara, the smarter one does. Born from rebellion, forged in discipline, Ashihara Karate is not just a style. It's a system built on movement, deception, and control. And it all starts with one word: Sabaki. Ashihara Karate is not just another branch of karate, it's a conscious departure, a deliberate rethinking of how a martial art should function in the real world. It was created in the late 1970s by Hideyuki Ashihara, once one of the brightest rising stars in Kyokushin. But Ashihara saw cracks in the system, and unlike many, he didn't look away. He believed that karate had become too rigid, too formalized, too removed from the dynamics of real combat. Fighters were brave and powerful, yes, but they were walking straight lines, trading pain for pain, missing the essence of strategy. Ashihara envisioned something else, a style that would reward not just toughness, but timing, not just strength, but decision-making, a karate where footwork, angles, and adaptability were more important than brute force. He took the bones of Kyokushin, stripped away what he saw as unnecessary rituals, and built something leaner, more dynamic. At the core of this system was Sabaki, a principle of movement, evasion, and control. Ashihara Karate wasn't designed to prove how much punishment you could take. It was designed to prove how efficiently you could end a fight. But Ashihara's approach wasn't just technical, it was pedagogical. He introduced clear rank-based progression, a modular teaching method, and structured sparring formats that mimicked real fighting scenarios without degenerating into chaos. The style quickly gained followers, not because it promised toughness, but because it offered clarity. Clarity of purpose, clarity of technique, clarity of outcome. Today, Ashihara Karate remains one of the most intelligently structured full-contact systems in the world. It doesn't chase tradition for its own sake, but it honors what works and refines what doesn't. It is modern karate, but not disconnected from its roots. It is rational, it is adaptable, and above all, it is alive. Sabaki is the beating heart of Ashihara Karate. The word sabaki in Japanese means handling, dealing with, or managing. In martial arts, it refers to the act of skillfully managing an attack, not by clashing with it, but by neutralizing it through movement. In combat, Sabaki becomes this: don't absorb force, redirect it. Don't block power, step past it. Don't trade hits, change the equation. Sabaki is not evasion for the sake of avoidance. It's the science of control, shifting your body off the center line, entering the opponent's blind angle, and resolving the conflict with speed and clarity. It's about efficiency over endurance. Instead of staying planted and resisting, you pivot, you turn, you reposition. You make the opponent commit to a mistake, then you finish. In Ashihara, Sabaki is not a trick. It's a method. It's drilled, refined, and internalized until it becomes instinct. And once you understand it, you'll never look at karate the same way again. Though Ashihara and Kyokushin share a full-contact spirit, their rules, objectives, and strategies differ drastically. In Kyokushin, strikes to the head with the fist are prohibited. Clinching, grabbing, and throws are not allowed. The fight is often a test of who can endure more, with points scored through clean body shots, knockdowns, or visible dominance. Ashihara flips that on its head. In Ashihara Karate, grabbing is not only allowed, it's strategic. Fighters can grip the opponent's dogi, head, or arm to break balance and initiate throws. Sweeps, reaps, and takedowns are core components of the scoring system. You can use your hands to pull or redirect, transition into a sabaki entry, and finish with a clean strike or throw. Clean, unbalanced throws and controlled takedowns are awarded points, not just power shots. Unlike Kyokushin, Ashihara fighters often wear light protective gear, padded gloves, shin guards, groin protection, and sometimes even soft headgear, depending on the level and event. This allows for more technical exchanges, with reduced risk of blunt trauma. The rule structure doesn't encourage standing and banging. It encourages tactical flow, entry, control, destabilize, finish. There have been successful fighters who crossed between the two systems, especially at the amateur level, but very few have reached the top ranks in both. The timing, distancing, and mindset are simply too different. Kyokushin builds warriors. Ashihara builds technicians. Both hurt, but only one rewards movement. Sabaki isn't theory, it's movement with intent. And when you see it in action, it looks like a fighter dodging fate, sidestepping a storm that was meant to hit him head-on. A typical Sabaki sequence unfolds like a diagram in motion. The opponent attacks you, step offline, not back, but sideways or diagonally. You enter their blind spot. You unbalance, through a sweep, a grab, or sheer timing. You finish, clean strike, throw, or reset. There's no clash, no collision, no exchange. There's just repositioning and resolution. In the dojo, Sabaki is trained step by step. It starts with static drills, where students learn angles, foot placement, and entry lines. Then it moves to dynamic repetition, responding to real strikes with controlled movement. Techniques are always taught with context. You don't just learn how to sweep, you learn when, why, and from what angle. Structured sparring in Ashihara is unlike the brawling found in some other styles. It's more like applied problem solving. One partner attacks with specific energy, the other has to respond with correct timing and technique. Over time, the drills evolve into free sparring, but even then, the focus remains on control, not chaos. What's also unique is the integration of grabs and balance breaking, which are absent in most traditional karate tournaments. Fighters practice clinching the head or shoulders and using those grips to create off-balance entries. And because the goal isn't just to hit harder, but to move smarter, positioning, timing, and entry precision are drilled daily. Protective gear allows fighters to train these mechanics with intensity, but without long-term damage. The result? Fighters who move with purpose. Fighters who don't stand still. Fighters who see the line before they walk it. Ashihara Karate didn't remain an island. It became a starting point, a launch pad for an entire generation of fighters and thinkers who saw karate not as a fixed tradition, but as a living system. From Ashihara came Enshin Karate, founded by Joko Ninomiya, one of Hideyuki Ashihara's top students. Ninomiya took the core of Sabaki and refined it into the Sabaki Challenge, a full-contact tournament built around angle entry, throws, and strategic control. Then came Seidokaikan, founded by Kazuyoshi Ishii, another Kyokushin student influenced by Ashihara's structural thinking. Ishii took the idea of intelligent karate and applied it to professional full-contact events, with rules designed for spectators, not just students. Out of Seidokaikan came something bigger. In 1993, Ishii organized the first K1 World Grand Prix, an event that would redefine striking sports worldwide. K1 allowed punches to the head, clinch control, knees, and low kicks, a fusion of karate, kickboxing, and Muay Thai. But the philosophy underneath? Still rooted in Ashihara, because without Ashihara's rejection of rigidity, without Sabaki's commitment to movement, without the evolution of Enshin and Seidokaikan, there is no K1. This is where Ashihara's part of the story ends, but the journey doesn't stop here. In the next episode, we follow what came after: Enshin Karate, Seidokaikan, the rise of K1, from dojos to global arenas, from angled entries to flying knees. We'll trace how Sabaki became the foundation of modern striking. So if you want to see what happened when karate went pro, subscribe, turn on the bell, and don't miss what's coming next. If you want to go deeper, support the channel on Patreon or join right here on YouTube for behind-the-scenes access, training clips, early chapters from my upcoming book, and more. And speaking of the book, The Way of the Empty Hand is on the way. A full journey through the legends, the lineages, and the forgotten roots of modern karate. Stay tuned. And if you haven't seen the full story of Hideyuki Ashihara, click the card above. Because before there was a system, there was a man who walked away from the mountain to build something of his own.